Hello there and welcome back to another Thunderous Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. This is kind of a off-the-shelf video for a lot of the new people out there. I've realized I haven't done any Build It Better type videos around my world in quite some time. And there's a lot of you out there that haven't seen a lot of this world. Don't even know that a lot of the older BIB videos even exist. So that's kind of why I'm making this video. I want to bring this kind of out and up front for a lot of the new subscribers. Those have been around the channel. A lot of you guys have already seen a lot of this stuff. What I'm going to show you in front of me is new, and then I'm going to kind of fly around different areas of the map and give all the newbies around the channel kind of a quick look at where we're at in the world. Have I updated anything in the world other than the railhead in front of me? And what I may possibly try to do this summer, and what I want to do moving forward with the BIB world. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this here real quick, and then those that want to stick around for that information can. So be sure to hit that like button for me before you head on out, though. I really appreciate it. It gives Jag good monkey wood. Anyways, the railhead in front of me was put in back before I did all the tank videos at the end of last year, and this is kind of where I come up with all the tank tutorials. The tanks have been requested for many years. I had a list sitting here of all the request builds, and I kept adding the tanks, and I never got around to it because they were like cars. I didn't want to do cars in the beginning either because there just wasn't enough blocks to get enough variety. Finally, I decided I needed some beginner tutorials instead of all the advanced ones, and I hadn't done any beginner tutorials in a while, so I did all the tanks and the Oshkosh trucks and stuff like that. So another explanation about that. After I built those, I needed some place to put them. I had talked about, when I was working on the shipping dock down this way, I talked about putting in some sort of a railhead, and at the time I didn't realize that was the name of it, but one of my subscribers back then realized what I was talking about. His name is Gannon Butler, and he was stationed at the Army base, Fort Hood, and this was almost a year ago. So this is how long ago I talked about this. It was back in March of last year. Well, he heard me talking about it on one of the other videos about putting this in, and he sent me some links and told me where to look for, for a railhead, someplace to offload the military vehicles. This is a little bit different than what the pictures that I had saw and the ones at Fort Hood. The ones at Fort Hood, there's a bunch of dirt mounds, and I'll try to post something on the screen like I normally do. That way, people can kind of see what I'm talking about. But this kind of just fit into this area because I ended up coming over here onto the Naval Base with the tracks. The world layout, I've been kind of frustrated with the last couple years. The way I kind of I just run everything together, and a lot of it it's just not laid out like I want it to be. But dealing with where everything is, this is what I came up with. And basically there's some tracks that come in here, and they go onto the Naval Base straight there. And they'll end up going through to probably an oil yard way down there, or like a refinery type place was the plans for the oil rig that I made that's offshore. And I'm pointing at the screen. I don't know why I do that when I talk, like you guys can see me. But anyways, way off the screen in front of me, there is an ocean, and I've got some of the boats out there and whatever. But I put the oil rig out there, the Perdido Spar, and I thought about running some oil lines to an oil refinery over in an open area, and I've never got around to it. I haven't got around to it. It's just some things down the road that eventually I will get back to doing. But anyways, that's where those tracks are going to go. They're going to go right through the middle of the base. There's nothing that I can do about it. But anyways, the railhead here in front of me is, it's like I said, something else that I kind of come up with. Just some place to dump all the military trucks and vehicles and tanks and stuff like that. So when I was making this, the only thing that I had was the Humvee, the 5-ton, and my own first tank, which was this one over here. And I got to looking at it. And again, this over here inspired me to redesign all my tanks. Just because the originals were kind of cheesy, and I got to looking at them, and I'm like, now's the time to do some tanks. So I changed the original design, which are these here, and then I got rid of the Abrams, and I come up with the new Abrams, and I put it over here. So these were where the older Abrams were. Again, you guys didn't see that because I got rid of them before I redid this new design here. So that's where those were. And I put the 5 tons and the Humvees. I redesigned the Humvees a little bit. I'm not sure if I did it to these down here or not. I'm thinking maybe I did. I can't remember now. Yeah, I think I did. I think I redesigned them a little bit. In the Oshkosh video, I think I showed what I did to those. The 5 tons, I added just a little bit to those. I just put the side mirrors on them. And I think that was really about it. And I changed the canopies here in the back because now I have that color blocks. And then put the big Oshkosh trucks here. And I thought I had 2 over here. I've only got 1 over here. And then my original trucks, I know, I'm sorry, I'm spinning all over the place. My original trucks here and here. Again, either picking up or dropping off. He looks like he's dropping off. And then out here, I was going to put another big kind of parking area. Again, really haven't decided, but going that way, I guess I'll bring up my HUD so you can see, going this way is where the city is, or the town is. And again, a lot of new people don't know that I've got a lot of that stuff because I haven't shown it in years on the channel. And we're going to fly up there. I'm going to show you a Starbucks that I put in that I never showed. But anyways, yeah, that's the railhead for those that are looking for some ideas with the tanks. And there's probably not a lot of you. There's an idea for you, something you can do with yours. So I'm going to fly up here. We'll get it loaded, and I'll show you guys some of the other stuff that I've got done. All right, as it loads up here in front of us, this is gate 1. No shit, Jag. I've got 4 gates. Basically, they're copy and pasted all the way down through there. Again, you can't see them; they're way over there. But I needed some gates for the naval base here. So this is what I come up with. And again, this was years and years ago. But I moved it off the old BIB map. The original BIB map this is one of the last things that I put on that map. And then I moved it over here, and I really never had any official place to put it. So I kind of plopped it down here and then run some roads going into the naval base, and never got back to finishing it. Off camera, again, over a year ago, I picked this up and I copied it going down through, and I made 4 gates. And way down at the end of gate 4 is where the housing development is. What you guys saw on the forest videos, or the forest cars, the forest trucks, or whatever the hell they were, logging, the logging vehicles. Sorry guys, my brain's a little scattered right now. But anyways, down there on the other end, that's where all that is. And you can see how old this is because I've changed the texture pack since, come on, get in there, Jag, since putting these in. So the floor has been changed. I think this used to be Scion, yeah, Scion, and now it's vending machines. So eventually I'm going to have to get back here and change some of this out. You new guys and girls can go back and find the old build of this where I actually walked through and was building some of it. I've got some anchors up here in the front. I thought that was really cool design. JEG Naval Station is what that stands for. And then I put one of my Harrier jets over here on the side. So anyways, that's what the gate is, and you can see gate 2 down there. And again, they're about that far apart. They're pretty evenly spaced. I'm going to go down this way first because this is where the Starbucks was, and I never got to a Let's Build with this. And Matt, my best friend, who's been around the channel for 7 years, pretty much as long as I've been here. This was his idea. He wanted me to build a Starbucks. And this one was built off, and I can't remember the inspiration where it was from. I'll have to pull up my notes, and I'll see if I can get them up for the video and post them on screen so you guys can, you can see what I built. And I built it off screen, and I was gonna do a fly-through, and I never got back to it. But this was actually for Matt. So this is your Starbucks, buddy. You never got to see this. Some people got to see this, and he might have. We had this on the server for a little while. And some people got to fly around on the server and check some things out. Those that explored the map actually found some of the things that I never actually showed on the channel, and this is one of them. And this actually turned out really, really well. Again, it's inspired from a real life Starbucks, and I want to say it's at Disney World in Florida. But again, I'll post that information on the screen. You should be seeing it by now. And again, I'm pointing like you guys can see me fucking pointing. Anyways, you can see, let's see. I've changed that block out, I think at the time. That might have been, yeah, I think it was just a stone texture. I can't remember. So again, all these will have to eventually be changed back out. But yeah, this turned out really, really awesome, and I never got back to one finishing it or showing it on the channel. So maybe sometime down the road I can come back and finish this for you, Matt. Anyways, that's the Starbucks. This is my downtown area. Some of the last things that I put in down here was the Subaru dealership over here on the right, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. All the lights, these are super old style. I've got all new lighting system now. I got to go through and change out all the new lights at some point. I think I started to way down here. When we get up the other side of town, I'll show it to you. There's a building back here I don't think I ever showed, and if I did, it was very briefly and only in for one episode. We got the Pizza Hut and the KFC. I never actually got to doing tutorials, and I still get people that ask me about these. Am I going to do tutorials on them? Yeah, I'd love to. Just things got really hectic in the last year, and I ran out of a lot of my time that I used to have. So now I got to concentrate on a lot of the ship builds that are on the request list, and those take a lot of time. And I'm only one person, and I just can't do everything. And I wish I could. So yeah, eventually I'd like to get back to those because those are really awesome builds. And those go really well with some of the other restaurants and stuff that I built around the channel. This here is from the original BIB world. This is the warehouse. This was sitting right next to the shipping docks. Or no, the shipping docks. I didn't have any shipping docks. The Naval Base, the original Naval Base that I first started. This was one of the first things that I plopped down on this new map when I built it. And then I added the storage kind of facility over here for the trucks, and you can see the trucks are really, really old design, still really, really chunky. That I didn't come back and change any of those out. But anyways, the Subaru dealership. Again, I've got a video on this one here on the dealership and the storage lot over here. And again, we'll fly past that. This will probably be a long video, guys. Again, just trying to bring a lot of the noobs up to speed on where everything is around the world. And what's going on. Some people had asked, is there going to be a down? I'm not going to fly down there. You guys can pick up the video on that. If I was going to do a world download for, and you'll hear a train. It's miles and miles away from here, but it carries and we hear it out here. But anyways, people had asked if I was going to do a download for this map. No. And there's several reasons. Several reasons why. There's the storage facility. Turned out really, really cool. Again, did a video on that. The Subway, Chick-fil-A, love that build. That one turned out great. I'm going to let this load for a minute while I talk. People had asked me a long time ago, let me get a sip of coffee. I'm drinking coffee now. Jag's drinking coffee instead of alcohol, which I guess is better for me. Anyways, those asked me if I was going to do a world download of this map. No. And again, there's several reasons why. One, the map is gigantic. It's 10,000 blocks by 10,000 blocks. And I did a video about 3 or 4 years ago where I switched everything over from the original BIB world to this world. And that's what a lot of this downtown area stuff that you're going to be seeing here shortly, that's where a lot of this stuff come from. And I just started expanding the world around it. I had a lot of time, and I wanted to build a city. And again, huge undertaking, and just never got around to it. Big apartment buildings over here. I've got some videos on all those. I'm going to fly up this way while I talk. But anyways, the world is 10,000 by 10,000, which is a very, very large map. You can get the map itself. I made 2 versions. I made a blank version that is like this one here. It's a builder's version. There's no ores. There's no caves. There's none of that shit. And then there's a survival version of the map. It's the same map, but there's ores and stuff on it, and you can actually go through and build and survive on the world. So then again, there's 2 different versions. If I remember, I will try to link it in the description. If not, just search my channel and you'll be able to find it. That's an old build from the BIB world, the original one. Again, all these builds down through here, these are all really, really old buildings. This was a bank that I made. This was pretty cool. I'll fly around the front of this. I was experimenting with the quartz blocks. When the quartz blocks first come out, this is what I came up with. And that was really, really awesome. Again, you guys can find the older videos and go back and pick those up. This was one of the very first buildings that I built. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's a library. Oh, I turned it into a library. That's what I did. So there's all kinds of bookshelves and things of that nature in there. It's a library. There's that tall building over there. Back over here is a police station. And again, I was kind of messing around. I think I had just retextured the stone block and the cobblestone at that time. And I come up with this building, and then I said, I said in the video, well, this looks like a police station. So that's what that ended up being. I don't have any of the cars around it, but at the time I did. There's my McDonald's, and this one was sitting on the original map right by the roundhouse. Now, there's a few things that didn't make it into the map. The roundhouse didn't make it into this map, and the Creeper 1 shuttle did not make it into the map yet. And I stress on yet because I do, and I still have future plans for the Creeper 1. Again, down the road when I get to it. But anyways, the McDonald's and this gas station were all sitting in a row, and they were flipped around right across from the roundhouse. I think it was like the original spawn area or whatever the hell. But this area, or these have been used in two really big fucking YouTubers videos. And I can't remember the names right now because it's been several years. One of them, she has like, oh my god, I want to say like 8 or 9 million fucking subscribers now. And the bitch used the word, didn't give me no credit for it, didn't say thanks or shout me out in the video, which pissed me off. And then there was another guy that did it too, and there was some controversy over it, and I got a hold of him, and we had some words. Actually made a video about him. He kind of apologized and then kind of shouted me out in one of his next videos. But at that point, it was like, why bother now? So anyways, yeah, there was a lot of bullshit around, around that area. I've got a Burger King down there that I never did, a Taco Bell. I did do a tutorial on that. Didn't do the Burger King because it just didn't turn out good. It looks like a Burger King, but it's very, I don't know, I couldn't get anything. It just didn't look good to me, and I just refused to do a fucking tutorial on it. But I did throw it in the world just for something to have in here, and it's got a full interior, and I believe I probably did a video on it when one of the times I was working on the train station down here, or the monorail station. There's the Taco Bell. Again, there's a tutorial on that. There's the monorails. Just about everything in my world, guys, has tutorials, except for a few of the buildings. The fire station up here on the right, that has a tutorial. Again, that was on the original map. This building back here was going to be a museum, and so I just kind of plopped that down. I really like that. Some of this stuff that it just doesn't really it doesn't fit or flow in the city area. But I plopped it in here, and that was some of the reasons why I just never came back. Oh my god, is that the caution blocks? Oh, I just noticed that's my caution blocks. So yeah, I did that out of a sponge material in the beginning, and I've changed it since. So yeah, that's going to have to be updated. A lot of the stuff I haven't looked at in years. There's the church. Another very, very old build. I did that on one of the very first servers late at night. Did that in about 4 or 5 hours, and it turned out really cool. And I I wanted to keep it. So that's where that ended up. Some more apartment buildings here on the right, and then the monorail station here on the left. And again, this kind of ended up being someplace where it just doesn't work. It works from looking at it from this aspect, but the thing is the tracks run here, and then I've got my my highway that runs down through, and it goes straight down to the shipping docks, and so the rails have to turn and go right behind these apartment buildings, and then those apartment buildings down there, and then it runs into the naval base and the shipping area. So it stops behind these buildings. It never got finished because there's no place logical for it to go. So I stopped looking at it, I stopped messing with it, and just never got back to it. This intersection over here we'll look at here in just a few minutes, or just a minute. That I worked on quite a bit and did a BIB video. There's two more buildings down there. Again, I think they're apartment type buildings. I did a school with the school buses. I've got a video on that. And that's pretty much the majority of the downtown area. This intersection here was kind of a test. I think in one of my old tutorial worlds, I was working when I first started doing the roads, and then I did a road tutorial. I had some overpasses and some ramps in the background that people asked about if I'd ever do tutorials on them, and I thought, well, maybe at the time I thought I could. I would have time to maybe do a tutorial on, but again, just run out of time. The Amtrak train, that's where I ended up throwing that down and taking screenshots, and then I've got the freight train going that way. Some overpasses that I worked on off camera. They turned out really good, or train trestles. And again, the tracks didn't really make sense where they're at. Again, they can go north towards the airfield, but this runs south, and it runs into a problem. And yeah, look at the screen glitch now. That's kind of weird. It runs into a problem further down the highway, and I'm going to fly down there and work back towards the shipping area, and then we'll go to the naval base, and we'll look at some of the ships, and then we'll fly up to the airfield, and that's probably where we'll finish out. That's probably the most of what I can show everybody. I had a big. I tried to turn the expressway. And it was back when I was, trying to learn how to do circles and circle roads and things like that. And it ended up getting really, really wide. So instead of, this width here, it ended up getting wide and going across this ravine here in front of us. And it looked like shit. So I ended up tearing it all out and redoing everything. Again, it didn't make sense. Where the tracks went underneath it. So I raised it up and went over the tracks. But these tracks, unfortunately, run through these trees and then go to the train trestles. So, again, these tracks would have to raise up to the trestle area, and that didn't make sense. So I never got back to finishing that out. So, yeah, there's a lot of things in the world that just didn't coexist well with each other. But, yeah, right across here is where that went in, and you can see this flat area. Where it used to be, and then it ties in right down there as it loads up. You'll see it, but there's right here is where the shipping dock area starts, the back of the tracks, and this got a little cramped. Didn't turn out the way I had planned it in my head. There was going to be some tracks that had split off the main line here and went down to like a shunting area, big freight train type area. Further south, there's a big piece of land, and that's what was going to go there. But the shipping dock spilled over in front of it, and I had to turn it suddenly. You can see over there, that's where the road tied in. I actually had that going up further and then crossing that ravine. But I split off 3 tracks, and I was experimenting with turning the trains. So you can see they're kind of, pushed, a little bit. They look like it's kind of turning across the tracks. That turned out pretty well. And then these tracks go into the shipping dock area and then over back to the railhead. And again, I was experimenting with turning things at the time. And I might have talked about this in one of the videos. I can't really remember. I'm sure it goes with the shipping dock area. I can't remember now what videos go with what. And then there's another area over here that I worked on off camera and had some Facebook pictures that I posted. Of some different things that I was trying to work into this area, again, because this entire area just didn't, the shipping dock spilled over in this area and it didn't look right. So I pulled this back into World Edit and pulled up some mountains, worked on some on-ramps, and then I turned the tracks real sharply and went that way. And some of the pictures that I posted on Facebook is where I did the sign. The sign video? Yeah, the sign tutorial on how to do signs in your world. So this is the only place in the world that has these signs posted. And I've got a tutorial on how to do this. Now, I did get a message from somebody. I can't remember his name now. It's been a little while. But he just told me, no, it's a couple weeks ago. He just told me that those signs don't work in 112. So here's the new lights. So I've got to put all these in the downtown area eventually. So I've got a new design here. I've got the bulbs and the signs and all that kind of the turning lanes. I can put all those in. So yeah, eventually those have to make their way back to that downtown area. But anyways, he said that those signs, or that tutorial, doesn't work for the 1.12, and I don't use 112 because I use 110, and that's the last stable version of Light Loader, which goes with Forge, and that's what I use for my world edit and stuff like that. He hasn't he hasn't posted any stable versions past 110. There are snapshot versions of the Light Loader for 111, 111.2, and 112, and I think 112.2. But there's no just flat out stable version for 112. So I never upgraded. And there was nothing really that I wanted to use in 112. This was going to be the receiving area for the shipping docks. I did this off camera, and never got back to it. That was going to be, again, the receiving area. There's going to be kind of like the entrance area to the military base, where they check the trucks. There was going to be some like a weigh station there, and then like a pull-off area where they've got them scanners, the metal scanners. I was trying to figure out how to put those in. Again, off camera. This come from the original BIB world. This was the dry dock, or well, the part of the dry dock. This was the cranes, and I thought this would look really good near the shipping docks. So I pulled off part of that and threw that over here, and that's where it kind of screwed up the train tracks. Coming down through here, I didn't think it looked quite right, so that's why I built up the hills in the back that would eventually load if I wasn't recording. But I've got my view distance set way the hell out, and it takes a little while for a lot of that stuff to load. But you can kind of see it loading up now. But I pulled all that out, and the main highway that we just saw was going to run from here over to another mainland. There's another big flat section over here, and that's where I was going to build, like I was saying a few minutes ago, a place for the freight train to pull in, and like a shunting yard and just a big freight area. And then on the other side of that, there's a peninsula way down in the far south corner. I was going to put Creeper 1, and that's where the space station was going to be, in the launch area. So again, eventually that's where Creeper 1 is going to end up. There were some islands off to the southwest of us where I had thought about putting the Creeper 1 also. There's a nice peninsula that comes out, kind of looks like a penis. And we joked around, and we kind of joked about that in the map version, in the map download of the original map, when I released the map without the builds on it. But anyways, that's where that was, and that's actually south of the naval base. We've got the only cargo ships that I have over here, the Columbia, fuck, I can't remember, Columbo, that I did a tutorial on not too awful long ago, and that one went several years without a tutorial. I've got a lot of videos on the shipping yard guys. You can pull them up. Some of them are fairly recent. Let me get some more coffee while this loads. It didn't load much, did it? But anyways, yeah, there's some really good videos of all of this through here that you guys can see. I don't really need to stop and show you. I'm going to work my way up here to the naval base. We'll look at a few of the things up there, and then again we'll jump over to the airfield, and we'll fly through a few of those areas again. For those that are still sticking around, I told you this was going to be a long video, but I haven't updated any of this stuff, and a lot of these things nobody ever saw. Especially the new people hanging out around the channel. This area over here for the tugs, I don't think I showed this, but just one or two times. I think that got worked on off camera, I believe, and I might have shown it when I was flying in between the shipping yards and the naval base over here, maybe once or twice. And you can see that was how I used to do my mooring lines. So that I'll have to come back and change that out. This area that we'll first come up on is the amphibious assault ships. This is the Wasp, and I can never remember the names of them now. But there's two of them here. There's the 2 and the 3, and then the actual Wasp itself is way over there by the Perdido spar. But that was really cool. I put some the second new tugboats that I did back a while ago. They're not new anymore. Put those, made it look like it was pushing this one in to the docks. Still don't have any mooring lines. There's some original planes. Oh, there they are. There's some original planes up here, and these are super old from the BIB world. That they were flying over the original Arleigh Burke that I made, and those I don't think have been shown since. But yeah, there's 4 of those, and they've got some little smoke trails after them. But anyways, that's the first thing that we come upon is those. And then I'm trying to think what we have next. Guided missile cruisers. Oh, this is the USS New York. So that's the dock for this one. And then a lot of this stuff here on the outside gets repeated. There's some power stations here on the side. There's some more dumpsters for the ships. Again, just some ideas for you guys looking for some dock ideas. And I'm almost sure I did a few videos talking about that. This is the carrier docks coming up next. I've got the Nimitz, the Enterprise, and then the new Enterprise all sitting in here. And there's several videos right in here that I talked about a lot of the different things that are going on here. Some of the mooring lines I just showed on the mooring line video, and some of the other things around the ships, like this, this barrier for if they spill oil and stuff in the water, it catches that. There's some metal crash guards on the outside. Outside of the ships here that they've got at Norfolk and a lot of other bases, and supposed to prevent like terrorists on speedboats and shit like that trying to ram up close to the ships and blow them up. That's what those are for. Again, you can pull that video up somewhere and take a look at it, where I go in depth and I explain a lot about it. The original USS Enterprise got reworked off map. Oh, no, that's not it. That's 76 there. Where is it? Is it that one? I think that's it. See, I don't know where the I thought I had my original Enterprise on here. Did I already pass it? Oh, it's the first one. Okay. Right. Yeah, I think it's the first one over there. No, it's right here. It's right here. Sorry about that. It's not loaded, so I had to find it for a minute. But yeah, a lot of this got reworked off the map. I blended a lot of this in and did some work on the side. And over the years, I actually had a Play with Thunder series where I was building on the inside of that, because that's the one I was stationed on when I was in the Navy. So that one got a lot of rework. And then people asked if I was going to do a re-release of that, and no, because breaking that apart would be a complete bitch, because it has an interior now, and there's no way I can do it. So that one will just probably never get redone. We just at some point may come back and work on it, and start a Play with Thunder series back up again. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, so moving down, this is where we got the Arleigh Burkes, and I just copy and pasted it and changed the number. I got the guided missile cruiser down here. What else did I put? The Freedom class, the Littoral class ships are down here. God, I can't even fucking remember what all is down here. The USS Kidd. So I got the little destroyer. I got him in here. And I didn't fly. Well, I didn't say never, but I didn't fly down this way on the map anymore, because a lot of these builds were already put in before I did the tutorials. So when I was talking about certain things on the map in the Naval Base area, I never flew down this way, because the Kidd was already done and it was already on map. And then there was a couple other things that were sitting here too, and those are gone now. I think I moved them somewhere else. It might be down here. Yeah, there's the Littoral class ships right there, the Freedom and the Independence, I believe. Where's the Independence? There's the Freedom. I had them floating. Oh, there it is right there. And then the Australian patrol boat, and then this is the subdock area here. And eventually I was going to make my way down here and build some different type subdocks. That's the original Typhoon. We've got the Ohio class, and then the new Typhoon, and that was picked up. This exact area was pretty much copy and pasted from the original BIB area, or the original BIB map. And then I've got the Japanese one, the I-400, And then I've got shit. I lost the name of this one. I went and saw it. Fuck, I'm gonna have to put it on the screen because I can't remember now. Oh my god, I actually took a tour of that down at Pearl Harbor, but I just had a huge fucking brain fart. But anyways, there's that one. This area here, I didn't scrap it. It doesn't fit. It's more of a museum area now. This was my very first attempt at a ship, and an old timey ship. I think I could call it the USS Jag or some kind of bullshit. And this is a super fucking old build, but I didn't want to get rid of it, so I ended up putting this on the map just for a placeholder. Oh, and I forgot all the battleships in Ford Island. So yeah, we're gonna be on this for a little while. Let me teleport. There's the peninsula I was talking about. That was where the Creeper 1 was gonna go. This is where, but it ended up being way too close to the naval base, and I just didn't think it looked right. The highways that come through. The base was going to end right here, and some of the highways were going to take us down to the Pearl Harbor area, or the Welcome Center down there. I'm going to teleport down there, and we'll kind of fly through there. Some of the things I've been working on. You know what? Actually, I'm going to save that for another video, because I did do a little work on the Pearl Harbor Welcome Center, and I've got a few things there, and I want to make an update video on that and finish out that series, because that area is almost done. And then work my way over to Ford Island for the Pearl Harbor series, where I can start working on Battleship Row and stuff like that. So I'm going to save that area. I'm going to teleport to the air base, and then we'll pick up from there. All right, so we are at the entrance area to the main air base, and this started way back on the original BIB world, and this was a big area that I worked on and kind of turned into a bigger project. Again, a big undertaking that I just never had the time to finish. And this was modeled off of, and again, I'm forgetting a lot of the things that these were modeled after. I'll have to post it on the screen. But the entrance is modeled after an actual base, and then the air base itself is the base on Guam. And Jesus, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it right now. But anyways, the town, or the city is way down there. So that was going to kind of push its way up to the base. There was going to be a main entrance here where that highway comes up. It was going to turn here. The tracks were going to come into the base this way and split off, and then go further to the east. There's a lot of unsettled business over there. There's actually some mountains over there with some snow. That was eventually going to get some snow builds. So yeah, I had a lot of fucking plans for this world, and that's why I said I'll be playing Minecraft for a while, guys. It may take me a long time to get to some things, but there are a lot of builds on my list that eventually I want to get to. And for those that'll stick around for a while, some of them might actually come to fruition, and some of them might actually get finished. But this was a cool build. This was probably about 11 episodes so far, I think. Might even be 14 episodes on the military airfield. So I've got, several just right here in this area working on the entrance. And again, this is actually modeled after a real entrance on one of the bases. That got plopped down here because I thought it looked cool after I did that particular build. Oh, I added those in. I don't remember if I had those, because those I changed the wall pieces, and I don't remember if I changed it while I was doing this build, again, because this is over a year old, this whole area. Plopped in the A10 and the Comanche over there. I don't think I ever did a tutorial on that either. Again, that just didn't end up being one of my primo builds. I thought it turned out cool, but it just wasn't there. And this back here was, again, it wasn't worthy of the tutorial. So there's a few things that never got anything more than an honorable mention on the channel. A lot of the stuff up here I want to change out. The hospital was the last thing that I built, and that's coming up here on the right. This was a huge undertaking. I don't have a lot of structural experience, so a lot of the buildings frustrate me. and this was one of them. The hospital, I got into it just maybe an episode or two. I was trying to build it after another one on this base, the one that I probably just posted on the screen a few minutes ago, and I'll post it again here. This hospital is going to be modeled after that. And I got the layout, everything was perfect. I got to building it, and it just wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to. I was frustrated. It looked like shit, so I gave up on it. And that's where the Airfield play with stopped, and I didn't come back. And then I went and I had some problems with the house at that time that I was working on. I was working a lot of overtime at work, so a lot of the stuff stopped at that point because of you know those things that I just mentioned. But yeah, that's where that was. We had a list over here of things that we were going to work on, a to-do list: an exchange, commissary, base housing, credit union, fuel farm, ammo dump, bomb storage, medical building. That's what all that over there was going to be, medical field. Helipads, finish the inner runway, sport and recreation equipment vehicles, various filler-type buildings, security checkpoints, airplane turnarounds and parking. Let's see, main roads coming in and going out, and some more base fencing. The base fencing did get started over here, and we'll kind of work our way that way. We've got the hangar base. Did some tutorials on those and the planes here. The tanker. This was off the latest vehicle builds. Again, a lot of people didn't hit on those real well, but this is how I used mine. It looks really good now, and I got that idea kind of from the Operation Realism server. One of the air bases that I visited there had a tanker truck, and had the pipe or the hose coming out of it, and I thought it looked really cool, so I ended up incorporating that with my new tanker build. And then I've got some helicopters up in the air up here. They probably won't load, just me flying through right now. But there's some up in the air coming into the base. I don't even remember which ones they are. And this is the big turnaround area down here. Some of it will load, some of it won't, guys. I'm not going to wait for a lot of it to load. But you got the main runway here, the southern runway, and then the northern runway over there, and then there's a big parking area over here for the I think for the C-130s, the C-5s right here. And this is in between the runways, and this kind of aggravated me because this isn't where I originally wanted it. I had originally had the hangar bays in here, and they didn't fit, and they didn't look right. So I ended up putting a parking area for C-15 or C-5s and the C-130s and stuff like that. So that's where that was. There's a middle runway that goes taxis down the middle. Imagine the name. The Chinook down there. Some of the other helicopters. That's where I've got those kind of just parked for now. That's why on the list I had helipads for those. The Blackhawks are there. I've got the Galaxy sitting. I think that's Galaxy. I can't remember now. C5. Let's see. I think the 747-8 is landing right here. It's the presidential one, Air Force One. Is either landing back there or it's up here. Should be landing up here because this is the target zone. And if I did it like I should have, this is where it should be landing. So I should run into it. And this is 1-1 scale. So these runways, and I didn't. Oh, because it ain't touched down yet. I think it's still in the air back there. But anyways, no, here it is. I did it right. So this is 1-1 scale. Both these runways are over almost 4,000 blocks long. So yeah, a lot of it takes up a lot of real estate on this map. See, yep. Oh my God, I got to change all that out. That looks horrific. So I'm going to fly down the other end, or I'll probably teleport. It'll probably be quicker, and I'll show you the rest of it down there, and then we'll be done. All right, guys. So this is the last area that I'm going to show you. This is down in the middle, on the west end of the airfield. There's the northern runway over here, and then the southern runway over here, and I've got some planes parked on it. This was where I ended up putting some hangar bays in for a lot of my planes, the F-18s and stuff like that. All up through here again. This was on my tutorial videos for the hangar base and a lot of my planes, the A6s here. I ended up showing this area several times On the northern runway, I was trying to put in some black marks down the middle of the runway in one of the videos, so you can kind of see that. So again, there's just some more ideas for you guys. There's a little A10 right there. And there was another taxi area here that crosses in between both runways and then turns and goes that way on the outside of the southern runway and goes past the control tower. And the control tower, you guys, the ones that saw the different trucks that I just did, the Oshkosh and stuff like that, that's where that was in front of. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is a huge long video. This is way longer than I first anticipated. I was just going to do like a little, kind of like a little talk on the railhead and the Starbucks, and then I decided to go ahead and do just the entire BIB world. There's still some other things in this world. There's the Star Wars builds over in the forest area. Just there's a mountain range back here, and just over that, that's where the Star Wars stuff is, because it doesn't match anything else. It doesn't match anything else in the world, because it's futuristic and it doesn't go with anything in the world. So it's isolated from everything else. But there's a lot of different areas of the map that I had plans for, again, for things that I wanted to do in the future with this world. But with work the way it is right now, I'm working overtime. It has slowed down quite a bit in the time that I'm using right now, my free time. And I'm trying to work off all like the main request list, the one that I just posted here, a few months back. The updated version, request 3, I think it is. So I'm trying to knock out, like the Yamato. That was huge. That was just, God, I got so many fucking requests to redo that, and I didn't even know people wanted it. So I ended up doing that. I've got another build coming up here in a couple weeks. Another big one that was off that list that's needed to be done, and that'll tie in with some other secret stuff on this map. But a lot of work that I'm doing right now will be just pretty much ship work this year. There won't be. I don't foresee any play withs. Or that's my chair squeaking. You can hear it in some of my tutorials. But yeah, there's I wanted to come back and pick up the Let's Build the military airfield. Let's build Pearl Harbor, and I still want to do those. And I'm thinking maybe by midsummer I can, or end of summer. Right now, I just want to take the time that I have and concentrate on knocking out some of these ships that have been on that request list for a very, very long time. So usually when I sit down, that's what I'm working on right now. And that's why, a lot of this area got abandoned. And a lot of the new subscribers, those that are still, sitting here, I appreciate it. And everybody else is, still sitting here, I appreciate it. But this is a lot of stuff that you guys haven't seen. So go back through the archive. I've got over 700 videos, guys, and I didn't realize I had that many. I mean, I've looked at them and I'm like, yeah, I've got a lot of videos. But there's mega builds that Matt and I have done, different nuke station videos. I said the old BIB videos, where it started off as I used to build kind of like a medieval type builds, and I didn't like it. And it didn't last long, and that's what the BIB series started as, was showing people how to build, things related to that, and then it spilled over into the modern builds, that I do now, and then it spilled into the military builds, and that's kind of how my channel evolved, and that's where we're at today. But anyways, that's it, guys. I'm done talking. There's really not much more. That's all I got to say about that. That's really all I wanted to talk about. Just where everything was in general around the channel. I know I do update videos, and not, most of you watch them. Some people make it through it. Some people don't even watch them because they want specific builds, and that's fine. And again, a lot of you that are still sitting here, you've already seen the update videos. I talk about some of this stuff. But a lot of the new subscribers around the channel have never seen any of this stuff. And I do get messages, hey, do you have this? Do you have that? Yeah, I do. I've got a lot of videos on it. And then, I point them in the right direction. So hopefully this will kind of give everybody a visual of a lot of the things that I've been working on for almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years, I believe, this April or May. I think I've been doing YouTube and doing Minecraft for like 6.5 years. So I've got a lot of shit. God, when I go through and I look at all this stuff and I think, my God, I've wasted so much time in this game, but not really wasted time. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I will continue to enjoy it for years to come, I'm sure. I just hope for more updates. I always hope for more updates. We all do. More slabs and stairs. Always more slabs and stairs. I've wanted that for 5.5 years. I think we've got too many blocks that we don't have slabs and stairs for. And but anyways, yeah, I'm done yakking. I just had some extra time tonight. I wanted to sit down and just bullshit with y'all guys for a little one-on-one. Nothing just hardcore. Just trying to teach you guys stuff. I just wanted to chill tonight. I wanted to make a chill video. So hopefully that's kind of the vibe that I put off. And everybody's enjoying it and got caught up and like, oh man, I remember that shit. Oh, I remember those. And that's just had, like I said, just had a nice little get together. I was gonna do a live stream, but I don't have the software set up yet on the new computer. Maybe I can do some live streams this summer. I haven't done that in a long time. That's always kind of a hassle, and that's why I didn't do those. And I haven't done those in a while, but we'll see. And we'll see what kind of time I can come up with. 2018, it shouldn't be as hectic as 2017 and part of 2016 was. And that's where a lot of my channel kind of fell apart, and I lost a lot of growth because I couldn't daily upload. And I can't daily upload. I can't sustain that. And it takes a lot of fucking work, especially building. If I just did, just average videos, vlogs, and stuff like that, I could do it. And back a couple years ago, I had the time. I had a lot of extra time, but that time turned into health issues too. I gained a lot of fucking weight, which I'm going to make an update video about that too. Some things have changed in that department that I want to discuss. Probably maybe another month or two. I might do another vlog type video. I haven't done one of those in a while, and we'll talk about some of that. But anyways, that's it, guys. I really, really greatly appreciate it. I know I always say it in my videos. Thank you very much for watching. Like on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. All that kind of shit. And usually, I don't get a really deep down personal video like this unless I'm doing an update video or I'm doing a subscriber count thank you video. And I haven't done one of those in a long time. I think the last one I did was 40,000. And that was over a year and a half ago. Because again, like I said, the channel has slowed way down. We're coming up on 49,000, I believe. Looking at 50,000 maybe this year. I'm hoping I can pick up 1,000 subscribers this year. I don't know. Last year I barely picked up 1,000. I'm averaging like 5 to 9 a day right now. So that's what, 300? Yeah, I should be able to do that. 300. That's about 300 a month. Or yeah, 150 to 300 a month. Should be able to pick up 1,000 this year. Should get the 50,000 mark. That'll be really, really exciting. That's halfway to where I would really like to be. Again, a lot of you know that I really want 100,000. I just don't know if there's enough steam left in the channel to get to 100,000. Not that saying that the channel's going to stop. I just don't know if we'll ever see it, guys. I keep pouring everything I got into every video. I wouldn't post them if I didn't. And it's just we're just not getting the traction that we used to. People are watching dumb fucking Tide Pod videos and shit like that, and wasting time, instead of creating and using the time that I've tried to teach like around this channel. Being creative. Be constructive with with what you're doing. Oh my God, I've got to kill it. Holy fuck! I didn't know I still had these things on the map. I thought I did away with them all. Where the hell are my weapons at? See, I don't even know. Oh, right there where the sword's at. And yeah, so we're gonna kill this fucking thing. We have not done this in forever, and like I said, I didn't even know I had these on the fucking map anymore. I thought I killed them all. Gone. I think the last one I killed was when I was doing the shipping docks. When I put the shipping docks in, I was killing chickens down there. But anyways, I'm done. I am seriously done babbling this time, guys. Like always, I appreciate you watching. I really fucking do. Like always, remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.